Hey everyone, my name is Nadia Struiwigh and I'm an artist from the Netherlands. I am currently based in Berlin and I'm very excited to share with you a new instrument I discovered, GALAXIAS, and it's an amazing instrument. You can layer up different old school vintage synthesizers and drum machines, but also effects like the space echo. So I will guide you through a little jam I made earlier. I can't wait to share with you the amazing sounds it produces. Let's have a look. Alrighty, so let's dive into this Ableton project, because this is actually where I am using the GALAXIAS in, and I'm also recording the Roland synthesizer. I will explain to you very briefly how this is set up, and then we can dive into the instrument GALAXIAS, and I want to share with you a little bit about the space echo. So firstly, you can see that I'm using the SH-4d basically for my drums, but also some other parts. So I synced it with Ableton, so I can just press spacebar and I can disable these channels, so we only focus on this hardware channel. So I created a sub bass in here. I also created a bit of noise. I love noise. You can do so much with it. The overall effects, I also included a little bit of noise in here, and I can change the mode. And it's nice to play with it in a jam as well, to be honest. And the third channel is a synth. I can put it a bit louder if I want to, if I go back into the amp here. And I need to choose number 3, of course. And I can change the cutoff a little, which I like to play with. And if we go back in here, the 5th channel is my drums. I can also put them a bit louder. Nice and pumpy. So these parts I'm blending basically with the GALAXIAS, but also some samples I used. So I'm using here the hi-hat that I grouped. I do love a little bit of a rhythm in the hi-hat, so it's not that static and it's all the time sort of changing. Then here we have the first GALAXIAS. I will solo it, which blend really nicely with the first channel. So you get really like organic sounds and very old school, I would say. I love stuff out of the 90s, like that's my favorite to play around with. So yeah, I think this is amazing to to work together with, because in the Galaxias, which I'm going to show now, I used a bit of outer panning on this channel, by the way, as you can see. I'm using the instrument in a very limiting way, to be honest. This could have been way more expensive because you can add 4 layers, so 4 instruments at the same time. Now I use only the D50, so here you can see the instrument itself. It's a synthesizer that, for my feeling, is a very Boards of Canada kind of sound, an Aphex Twin, so I love to play with this. And if I am actually enabling the keys, which are already done, and press the record button, I can play with it. With now my computer keyboard. I also have here a little keyboard and some other keyboards. And yeah, you can just mess around with different presets or find your own sound design in here. In the top you can see 4 different tabs. So now I am in the library, so I can find different elements to add on, like a brass or a drum percussion. So yeah, you can choose out of synthesizers, but you can also stack up different drum computers, which is kind of fun to do. And there is here a mix where I can blend all these 4 channels at the same time. Because, for example, in the second layer, you can already see there's a space echo in here, which I'm going to talk a little bit about, but I also put it in the first layer. The second layer, I can add maybe like a Geno, so I just double click on there. It will load. And here now, I can actually change up the preset if I would like to. But now you can hear already, it's not really loud, hey? So maybe I want to press this a bit up. And yeah, you can maybe see already what kind of possibilities there are here. If you want to play a little bit more with a sequencer, there is on the 4th tab a sequence tab. Pretty awesome, because you can create here kind of dynamic, kind of sounding ARPs. So if I'm now pressing some keys on my computer keyboard, I can press hold and it does its thing. I can use different kind of presets. Pretty cool, I find already. I can hear already the space echo on here. So if I go back to my mix, the space echo makes this reverby delaying sound. I can go in here. So this is pretty awesome, I find. I think it works very well with my kind of workflow. And of course, everything is in sync then also still with my SH-4d. So let's delete the instrument. We can disable it or remove the instrument, which I am doing right now. Going back to group 3, that's my hi-hats. And then we have here a drum computer, the 909, which looks like this. And you can hear there's a reverse going on, right? There's like a sort of delay. And if I go to the Xenology effect, I can actually use different kind of delays, which is also from Roland, and you can use it also within the Galaxias, but I wanted to share with you that all the instruments from Roland you can also use separately on each channel. But the more fun is in the instrument Galaxias itself, because you can layer there things and map also some macro controls. So yeah, if I'm going back to play, because it plays already, The best would be this one, because I like this kind of, it's pretty dope. Going to Galaxias here again. Now I share with you that I used actually the Juno 60, the 606 and the 909 in a build preset. So it's a scene, it calls. So in the top here we have new scene or save as. So hereby I use the ice dream. So if I'm going back into the sounds, I will share with you how it sounds. Because again, the drum computers, they run automatically when I press spacebar. And the Juno, if I want to, I can play around with it by arming the recording button in Ableton. So it's kind of fun to play with that because I feel like as I said, the drum computers already just run. So I can still then play with my keyboards with the Juno, for example. So let's go into a new channel because I think I showed a little bit how I used it now for my little jam I made. But I want to share with you a new Galaxias, which I am going to insert. So you can just double click on the Galaxias or drag and drop it. The cool thing of the Galaxias is also that you can use it without a DAW. So let's dive into the scenes because I wanted to share a little bit about the Space Echo, which is super iconic. It's made in 1974, and the coolest thing with the Space Echo that it creates very kind of dubby tails, like reverb or delay tails, and yeah, I feel like that is something I just really want to explore. So there are many scenes built here. So it showcases, of course, the Space Echo, and there are actually amazing ones. So I will solo this channel. So we're only using one of these scenes. So let's just click on something. So here there is layer 1, D50 again, the favorite I have. And if we go into the mix, you can see there's here the Space Echo. Ooh, fat. Do you hear it? I can put the reverb volume down, and I can also put the echo volume down. So now, it's so nice and crunchy. And in the bottom is a fun little thing here because I have 16 microcontrols that I can assign to any of these parameters at the same time. So for example, I can map 3 of them, of the bass, the treble, and maybe the intensity of the echo, and put it into one microcontrol. So here there are already a few assigned, so let's see what it does. Bass. There's not a lot of bass in this sound, so... Ooh. Yeah, so you can also map them, of course, then via MIDI to your, I don't know, maybe you have a controller, a MIDI controller, and it becomes very fun then to play with. Let's dive into a few others. I think the Space Rift I already opened up. Let's go into this one. Ooh. Lovely, lovely. I love it. Let's go to the Jupiter and put the sustain a bit down here. And decay. I also really like this. I think they used here a send effect. So you can also add on sends to it. So I can disable them. So if you go into buses, here are the sends. So you can add 2 sends for each layer, basically. And here you can see already there is a space echo in the first send. Let's dive into one last one. Let's go into warm jets. Oof, dope. Also here there is a bus. So here we can go into a different... Let's just put the send amount up. Crunchy. I love that. So let's just have one of those knobs assigned to any of these parameters so I can show you how it works. So if I click here on link, I say okay, I can click on multiple knobs here and then turn them. So this will be then the value. And then I can say, okay, click link off. And now, so it's very easy to do that, especially when you maybe want to jam around or play live a little. I think this is perfect to work with, to be honest. So hereby we come to an end, and I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope also you got some inspiration out of it. I hope to see you next time and enjoy music making.